I would hire Carrie Moon, you know? And if I get there, because I think that she's got some great ideas. I think I'm going to make the better mayor, but I think she's got some great ideas. So I'm not going to limit it just to 2. If I can bring them all, I'm going to bring them all.
Ms. Moon, would you accept a job in a Durkan administration?
All due respect to the political skills of my opponent, I don't think so. Because there's too much difference in really what future city we're aiming for and how we intend to get there and how we govern, and I don't think I'd be a good fit.
And that was one of the lighter moments from tonight's lively debate. With only 2 weeks before voters elect Seattle's next mayor, we've got a closer look at the candidates. Jenny Durkan, the former U.S. attorney, and Carrie Moon, the engineer and urban planner, squared off on King 5 tonight.
King 5's Natalie Swaby joins us live with some takeaways from tonight.
Yeah, tonight both candidates talked about how they differ from their opponent. Here's some of what they had to say about broadband, traffic, and Seattle's police chief.
My opponent has an independent expenditure of over $500,000 supporting her campaign, largely funded by the big corporations, Comcast, CenturyLink, and other big corporations that don't want municipal broadband in the city.
I'm responding for my son, who came home saying, Mom, I heard you're against broadband because of Comcast. Not true, and I want him to know it, I want you to know it.
Let's talk about traffic. The Seattle City Council is considering congestion pricing on downtown streets. Do you think that would help Seattle? And if so, how would you approach this issue?
We spent $3.5 billion, maybe more, maybe $4.5 billion on this tunnel. It was supposed to take all those trips. If they're going to set the tolls so high that it's causing those trips to come back on our city streets, we should not be charging on our city streets. We should get WashDOT to pay to accommodate those trips in the tunnel.
I think we're going to have to look at congestion pricing, but down the road. Transportation and traffic is a mess. The next 4 years, traffic is going to get so much worse, and it will not be the mayor's fault.
A question for you, Carrie. Should we retain Police Chief Kathleen O'Toole? You've said maybe.
I haven't sat down to talk with her yet about the vision for the police force and what is the strategy to get there. So I don't know if she's on board with this vision and if she wants to stay and help make it work or not.
Cool.
I would retain her. I hope she stays. She has been a real leader for reform.
Now, at one point, Carrie Moon said, my opponent always talks about the economy like it's the weather. It just happened, as if we don't have control over it. Well, Durkan was quick to respond to that, saying it's simply not true. She added that her opponent has been through enough political debates and forums like that to know it. Live in the newsroom, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.
Natalie, thank you so much. All right, so front and center as one of the moderators at tonight's debate was King 5 political reporter Natalie Brand.
So, Natalie, what do you think are some of the takeaways for voters who may still be undecided at this point?
Well, I think with just 2 weeks until Election Day, we saw here that the gloves are coming off a bit in terms of Seattle Nice politics. As far as Seattle Nice politics goes, we did see the candidates come out and try to draw some more distinct contrasts between one another. And, you know, you heard in Natalie Swaby's exchange that she played, Carrie Moon at the end of the debate went after Durkan for an independent expenditure, that's outside money being poured into the chamber affiliated political action committee in support of Durkan. That's money that Durkan cannot control, but she's trying to paint Durkan as a corporate candidate, whereas Durkan is trying to convey a sense that she not only has policy proposals, but a detailed plan of how to get there and pay for some of the proposals. So these are some of the contrasts that we were seeing drawn tonight.
So tell me this, who seemed more prepared, who was more relaxed, who won over the audience in your opinion?
I think both candidates did a good job. What we did see is Jenny Durkan, former U.S. Attorney Durkan, was very assertive in this debate, which was a town hall, as you saw. It's a town hall style format where we did not have strict time rules. So the candidates, you know, it was kind of incumbent on them to interject and take the stage and use the time that they had allotted. And I think we saw Durkan really take advantage of that, and at times maybe went a little long in responses. And but it was, you know, the format allowed for the candidates to really show, you know, assertion.
Do you think some of those differences in style, though, would reflect their leadership as mayor?
I think that's the question that viewers are going to have to decide at home. And I'm curious, I'm trying to scroll through Twitter and see whether undecided voters were swayed after this debate, because that's always something that we look for. So what were they picking up from this, from the, visible cues on the debate stage floor? We'll have to keep asking that question. And if you have comments, tweet me. If you're an undecided voter, I want to hear from you. So tweet me at Natalie Brand, K5.
All right, Natalie, thank you so much. Folks, you have about 2 weeks to turn in your ballots. Natalie also sat down with these candidates a few weeks ago. You can watch it on our website right now. And that is, of course, king5.com.